Did you know that there is an actual lav in the Torah, an explicit isser to hate somebody? Hating a yid is not merely bad midas or something frowned upon, it's an isser. In Vayikra, Perek Yud Tes, Pasuk Yud Zayin, it says, Le'sisna es achicha bilvavecha. It is usser to hate someone. But not only are you over this isser when you hate someone, you are over it again and again for every additional person you hate. And not only that, you are over it again and again every second you hate them. You can make a pretty strong argument that no other isser in the entire Torah can you be over more frequently without even realizing it than the isser of leisisna es achicha bilvavecha. If there are 4 people in your community that you just can't stand, they get on your nerves, and every time you see them at the park or at shul or you think about them at work, you are over an isser. You can have a guy happily laying in bed at night thinking that he had a pretty decent day, when in actuality he is going to sleep with tens, if not hundreds of Isurim with him. Not only is this reality scary, it is massively destructive. We all know that the second Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of sinas chinam, and some people are baffled. How could the second Beis Hamikdash be destroyed because of sinas chinam? It's one thing that the first Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of the Gimel Chamuris, Shvichas Damim, Avodah Zarah, Gila Rayas. Sinas chinam, that's what brought the Beis Hamikdash down and forced us into this 2,000-year exile? Because I didn't like how my neighbor dressed? Because I didn't like that my neighbor's Sephardi? Because I can't stand the fact that my neighbor can't stop talking about her grandkids all day? That's what destroyed the Beis Hamikdash? The answer is yes. Tens of thousands of Jews couldn't stand tens of thousands of other Jews, and they were stockpiling Isser after Isser after Isser, and eventually, after several years, if not decades, of accumulating millions by millions of Isurim, of Loisisnes Achicha Bilvavecha, the Beis Hamikdash exploded. There are only so many Isurim Hashem is able to forgive. And when people for years straight are over so many Isurim, every hour of every day, eventually Hashem says, I had enough. How many of us, every time we enter our homes, are bringing piles of Isurim with us? Every time we talk about the Rav, or about that Breslov shul that's opening up down the block, or about all those yeshivish people, or about that whole YU people that are moving into town, we can literally be swimming in Averus that are eating away at our homes and be completely naively unaware of it. The Torah says, Sur meira v'asei tov. It's quite possible that Leisisna es achicha bilvavecha produces more ra than any other Avera. It would be tragic of us if we wouldn't work on avoiding it, for the same way Hashem eventually had enough of the sinner that destroyed the Beis Hamikdash. What's stopping him from doing the same to our homes? How much pain and destruction we can save ourselves from if we would work on ourselves to stop hating people. The same way we check our suits out of fear of the Isser of Shatnez and spend 6 times the amount of money on checked lettuce out of fear of the Isser of eating bugs, and we have wine locks on our bottles of wine out of fear of Yayin Nesach, shouldn't we also work on ourselves to hate people less out of fear of the Isser of Leisisna es achicha bilvavecha, which, oh, by the way, is perhaps the most prevalent Isser on planet Earth? In 1943, a German U-boat got a call from the Japanese army operating out of an island off of Japan, and the message was that the Japanese caught a Jew and were wondering if the Germans wanted him. And the Germans said yes, and this German submarine U-boat traveled 1,000 miles to this Japanese island, picked up this Jew, shot him in the head, and threw him into the ocean, and promptly traveled 1,000 miles back to their base. If the Germans would go 2,000 miles to kill one of us out of their hatred of Jews, it behooves all of us to spend 5 minutes working on our love of one another. And who knows? Perhaps by doing so, we'll be saving ourselves and our homes from destruction we never saw coming.